Good evening, everyone. Thank you for those that are joining us on the live stream or will soon be watching the pre-recorded video. My name is Arturo Hernandez. I am the Executive Director of Safety and Security here at Zion Benton Township High School District 126. We are here to present on what we call What Parents Need to Know, Understanding Drug Risk for Kids. Being that we're getting really close to closing out the semester and our kids, our students will be going home for the summer, we wanted to bring this information to you just as a bit of awareness. We wanted to support our school community, our families, and we thought that this would be some good information to share with everyone, including our staff members, again, our families, our parents, and we want to raise this awareness so families can recognize the early warning signs, initiate those open conversations, and we also want to protect our children from the growing dangers of substance abuse. Overview of the presentation. This event will cover vaping, marijuana, prescription and synthetic drugs, social media's role in drug access, hiding behaviors, and how parents can effectively intervene and support their children. Before I move on, I would like to present my co-presenter here.
Hello, I'm Dr. Bridge. I'm the Executive Director of Technology and Innovation, and I'll be helping present, particularly when we get to the hiding behaviors and things, some statistics about social media and things like that. So, looking forward to participating.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bridge. And as we move forward, so why is this important? Well, a lot of the things that we're going to be covering today, and we do have some show and tell items, because these items that we're going to present to you are very easily accessible, they're easy to find, and what you see here on the screen, I want you to just keep a mental note of this, because this will make sense as we move through the presentation.
That was my cue.
Vaping and e-cigarettes. So, what we're seeing in the schools and across the country is disposable vapes. And we have a few here for show and tell. And there's different kinds. Some of them you can just draw without actually depressing a button or pressing a button. Some of them you can actually unscrew. They're interchangeable, where you can use nicotine and then also other substances. So how are they marketed to kids? Why is this important to us? Well, they're very colorful. They're using these nice bright colors. They're putting really nice names on them. And they're selling them to kids and making them very attractive to them. They're also becoming smaller and smaller. As you can see, this is a very large vape. And as we move, I can show you, these are very concealable. I can put this in my hand. You can't even see that I actually have this in my possession. Nicotine. Right now, in these vapes, they're using higher concentrations of nicotine. So they're using nicotine salts. So they're smoother hits, but they're also higher doses. They're masking a lot of the chemicals with different flavors. And so it becomes very highly addictive for our teens. We have our youth developing brains. So with these higher doses and masked flavors, making it highly addictive for our students and our youth and the community. And that's why it's important to bring this, and you may or may not have seen these, but we really wanted to share this with everyone. Okay, so here's Delta 8. This is something that you will see at a lot of the vape shops or smoke shops. Delta 8 is very similar to marijuana and cannabis. Cannabis is considered Delta 9. So chemically, they're almost the exact same. And these are actual pictures from smoke shops. So this isn't a dispensary. These are actual pictures from a smoke shop, from a vape shop that they're selling. They have pre-rolls, and it actually looks like the exact same as cannabis. And I will mention one thing. Recently in the community within Zion, there was a smoke shop, a vape shop that the police had some contact with, and an arrest was made. What they determined was a lot of the Delta 8 that they were selling was actually, once sent to the lab, tested to be cannabis. So they were actually selling cannabis as opposed to Delta 8, but it was marketed as Delta 8 at the time. And that's some of the information that we received, and it's preliminary. So how has marijuana changed throughout the years? So in the 1990s, cannabis, marijuana had approximately 3 to 5% THC in their strains. Now the strains contain 15 to 30% THC, and some of the concentrates, like wax and shatter or oil, like you see in this photograph here, can contain 60 to 99% THC. Synthetic drugs. So this is a big one here. If you remember the picture that I said please keep a mental note, that picture was actually from a local gas station in the community. As I was driving and looking for pictures for this presentation, that was one of the pictures I took. And if you notice in that photograph, you clearly see Kratom being advertised. So I really want to highlight Kratom, and this is the one I want to speak to because this is a substance that is very easily accessible. You don't have to go to a dispensary. You can literally go to a gas station, some grocery stores, and you can purchase this synthetic. This one's not a synthetic, it's basically from a plant. It's Kratom. It's sold as a powder or a capsule, and you can see the picture here. Why this is so dangerous is because it's not FDA regulated. The DEA currently has it as a concern. So it's not a Schedule 1 drug or a Schedule 2 drug. So it's on the radar, but it's not being regulated. What Kratom has is 7H. And I will do my best to pronounce it. It's 7-hydroxynitrogenide. So it's a powerful alkaloid, and it's found in the Kratom plant. It acts on our opioid receptors, and it's similar to morphine or heroin. So some of the Kratom that you're seeing out there is actually being enhanced with 7H. So they're actually enhancing Kratom with 7H. And again, easily accessible. You can find it in a drink, in a powder form. It's marketed as herbal, safe, and these are the buzzwords that you hear. You can buy this online, and it's marketed as one of those safe to use substances for everyone. But most importantly, it's important that we please keep an eye on this when you go to the store. You may inadvertently pick up a drink or a drink that
It looks like an energy drink.
it actually looks, I'm sorry, it actually looks like an energy drink, and we had that photograph in there where the kids may have pick it up thinking that they're grabbing one of those fancy drinks, and in fact it has Kratom in it.
Okay.
Yes. Hallucinogens. So this is becoming very popular. These are amanita mushrooms. So it's not the same as psilocybin or magic mushrooms that most people are used to seeing, but again, marketed to kids, very colorful. You will see chocolate bars, and they have fancy names, gummy bears or edibles. Again, something that you're gonna see very unregulated. A lot of these items that are being sold, we really don't know what's in them. Just something to be aware of. If you happen to see this, that may look like a candy bar. It could be dangerous too, especially as a small child. Prescription drugs. So we're starting to see gabapentin. really a nerve pain and seizure medication, but many people use it for its sedative effects. Sometimes called Johnny's on the streets. They're used in conjunction with alcohol or other drugs, so it can lead to overdosing, also high tolerance and dependency. Xanax, another one that you're gonna see, it's used for anxiety and panic disorders, but again, zombie-like effects, it's really a high risk of dependence, and you're gonna see this drug or this prescription medication used with alcohol as well. ADH medication, Adderall, Ritalin, boost energy. You're gonna see this sometimes referred to as a study drug because it keeps people up for a long time. Important Benadryl challenge here. So Benadryl, diphenhydramine, we're seeing a trend where kids are taking Benadryl to the point where they're hallucinating and then posting that on social media. Some of the slang terms that you may hear are Xannies, bars, ladders, Gabbies, and Johnnies. Okay, so what's next? So now we're looking at drug trends. What's the next step in the evolution of drugs? And what we're seeing is trend. This is the buzzword for right now. Xylazine is one of the most disturbing trends. It's starting to show up in our communities. It's also being mixed into other drugs without users actually knowing that it's in there. It's a veterinary tranquilizer. It's approved for animals, not in humans. It may be mixed with opioids such as fentanyl or other fake prescription medications like Percocet, heroin, cocaine, and other press pills. So with Xylazine, Narcan, naloxone, it will not reverse its effects due to the fact that it's not an actual opioid. So dealers are cutting this substance into other narcotics. And again, we don't know how it's being used in other drugs and the potential for overdosing and other health problems. They're harder to prevent. And here, we just have some pictures of some of the items, how it's marketed. Again, very colorful, very welcoming. This looks like a drink you'd want to enjoy. If this is something that you're going to find at a gas station or your local vape shop, and it's important that we present this to you just for awareness. And we have some show and tell items that we'll get into in a little bit, and hopefully this will be useful to you. I will now pass it to Dr. Bridge.
Yeah, I will just add that with some of these pictures that you're seeing, they're accessible to kids everywhere, and there isn't any age restriction. So all of our kids can go in and purchase these items for a very low cost. For example, the Benadryl challenge that he had mentioned, kids can go to the dollar store and get packs of Benadryl for $1. So it only takes 20 Benadryl to have those hallucinations, and there's been a lot of deaths associated with this challenge. So please let your kids know about that. You want to hit the button? Okay, so we're gonna take a moment and just talk about how kids hide drugs. Go ahead. So if you suspect that your child is experimenting with some sort of drugs or vapes or something like that, knowing where they might hide them or keep them can really kind of make all the difference in having those conversations with your teens. So there's some common hiding places that are associated with these hiding their vapes and drugs. Some of the common spots, inside shoes or boots, hollowed out stuffed animals behind posters. Again, like we mentioned before, a lot of them look like candy, so take a closer look at anything that looks like candy. A lot of times they're hiding them in something that would look like a school supply, which we'll talk about in just a second. So a little statistics for you. 47% of teens who are using substances say that they have hidden them in some fashion from their parents. And of those children, 60% have hid their substances in their bedroom, 35 in their backpacks or school-related items, and 1 in 5 admitted to hiding substances in food packaging and containers made to look like everyday items. So did you want to talk about some of these things that you have?
So we decided to get some, oh, can you see? Okay, we decided to get some items that I thought would be a good representation of how anyone really can conceal items. And these are all purchased online. We're literally click of a button, you can get this, and Dr. Bridget, can you hold this for a second?
Yep.
Arizona. So this is an Arizona iced tea can, and as you can see here, it's concealable.
This one's a really neat one because it actually has the weight of a full drink.
It actually feels like an entire drink. You have here a can of Hormel chili. Very concealable. Same thing here with a fly spray. Let me see if I can pop this open. This one's a little harder. Screw, put this here.
Sometimes those might be more obvious than some of these smaller ones, because these look like everyday items that you would see just in your kids' bags.
Yes, so this one here, the chapstick, the bottom comes off of it, and you can conceal pills, baggies, anything like that. Same thing with this lighter. This bottom pops off here, and we do have a marker that is an actual working marker that unscrews. Again, very concealable. Airbrush, pop the top on here, and you have a cavity there to hide any items. And this looks like, this one's very interesting. It looks like a regular outlet wall charger. This comes off, and the entire item can be used as a place to conceal contraband. And not that everyone is using these items, or your kids are, but we just wanted to bring some attention to it, because if you see something that's out of place in the kids' room, you may want to just take another look.
Yeah, we're not suggesting going and ransack your kids' rooms,
Right.
but just to be aware. Next slide.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. So for me, I thought this part was really interesting. There is an entire drug culture wrapped around apparel. So, for example, Aperture cookies, DGK clothing, seedless, and spray ground. These are really common items that have stash pockets. So spray ground, they really hype it up, and the fact that you need to find in their backpacks the little compartment, there is a little note inside when you find it, but they're very, very difficult to find on the item. There's hats, there's hoodies, there's pants that have that. For me, the most critical part of that is that these brands are really cultivating and promoting this and highlighting and normalizing drug culture. So that's just something to be aware of as you see what kind of clothing that your kids are into, their friends, what kind of clothing they're into, just to be aware of things. Okay.
Yeah.
So according to the National Center of Addiction and Substance Abuse, over 40% of teens who use substances have used or owned something with a stash compartment. Many reports buying items online or through social media that are disguised as fashion or school gear. We're gonna move into kind of social media and drugs. So social media is no longer just about selfies and scrolling. It has a growing marketplace for illegal drug activity, especially among teens. Platforms like Snapchat and Instagram are being used by drug dealers to target and connect with minors, often in ways that are hard for parents to spot. Snapchat is especially popular because of its disappearing messages in the location features called Snap Map, which can show where users are in real time, and dealers often use it to advertise drugs using slang codes and emojis and arrange delivery through those direct messages. And there you can see where they are on maps. So it's very, very lucrative to their business. Instagram is another hub. Dealers will use and post photos and reels of pills, THC products, include emojis in the captions. Many teens follow or get followed by these accounts without even realizing the danger. They are often posing as, popular influencers. So just kind of keep an eye on that. So emojis and secret codes. So if you can see what this is right now and trying to be able to decipher this text message. So if you're looking at that, this is really how it translates. Do you have edibles or pills right now? I need 2 for the weekend. Make it strong. Yes, I have a new supply. Same price as usual. Do you want to come get it or should I deliver it? Can you deliver at 3? My parents won't be home. Message me on Snapchat. If not, don't text. Okay, I'll send the package at 3. Bring the connection and payment.
And one thing I will say about this is that this is constantly changing as well. Kids are really, really receptive. They're good at changing this and using different apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, because they think that they're encrypted. But a lot of this, the way it looks now, it may not be exactly like you see it here, but you're gonna see something similar. You're gonna see a theme here. That's really what we want you to pay close attention to.
So one of the reasons why emojis are often used is because it can bypass a lot of the algorithms where they would normally get flagged by things. So if you see a lot of messaging or private messaging or threads that have a lot of emojis, just kind of be aware, and that should prompt you to take a harder look. So on the next page, there is just more of the different secret codes and emojis. I do want to just emphasize the fact that this entire slide deck is made available to you, and I'll show you where to get that at the end. Next. So these are some startling statistics. 59% of teens say that they have seen drugs or vaping devices paraphernalia advertised on social media. 1 in 4 teens, now these are ages between 13 and 17, say they have been directly approached by someone online offering them drugs. 42% of teens who bought drugs online said that they found the dealer via Snapchat or Instagram. On Snapchat, over 75% of the drugs-related sales to youth involve fake prescription pills, like the Percocets or Xanax, and they're often laced with fentanyl. Now, with that in mind, the next statistic is really disturbing. The number of youth overdose deaths linked to social media facilitated drug sales have tripled in recent years, many due to those counterfeit pills with the fentanyl. It's kind of scary. So what can we do as parents? Well, we don't have a perfect answer. So if that's what you were hoping to get from this presentation, I apologize. But there are things that can kind of keep us aware and in the loop. So be aware of some of the signs that you want to look for. So there could be behavioral changes. You might see a lack of interest in things that they've normally liked. Maybe frequently spacing out or disconnecting. Mood changes, secretive behavior, changes in their social circles, so their friends groups have changed a little bit. There might be those physical signs associated with drug use, so the bloodshot eyes and dry mouth, and obviously marijuana has a particular smell, so just kind of being aware of some of those things. I think I have 2 15-year-olds, and for me, the secretive behavior would be a big clue to me. I feel like we have a pretty open house, and if anybody is kind of being secretive, it's like, hey, what's going on? Next. So what to look for on the phone? So are there sudden changes in phone behavior? Again, are they using some of those slangs, emoji? Are they hiding their messages from you? Could you notice they're on Snapchat a lot, more than normal? Look out for accounts, maybe that they're following that look like influencers or meme pages. Just take a look at those. But one of the biggest ones are, do they now have the Cash App, Venmo, or Apple Cash? Are they using that on their phones? It is never too early to start to talk to our kids and have those ongoing conversations. And it shouldn't be just that one big talk. It's really difficult to have some of these conversations with teens, I'm perfectly aware, but having those ongoing conversations make it feel like it's just a normal part of your routine, that you are checking in on them. Keep it calm, non-judgmental, be clear about your values and your family's values and the expectations. It is a good reminder for them to hear it over and over again. Next. Try to monitor what's going on in their social media. It's difficult, I know everyone wants to respect privacy and things like that, but you can let them know that you trust them and that you love them, and it's just part of your regular routine as a parent to stay involved and in tune with what's going on. Know their passwords if you can, kind of be present in their digital life, set curfews, make sure that they're not often unsupervised. Watch out for those red flags, the secrecy, sudden changes in the mood, like I said before. Continue to encourage the healthy activities and groups. We always say that, you are your friend group. So encourage friendships with peers that make your kids stand out and make positive choices. Praise their efforts and their resilience anytime they're working on their character.
And one thing I will say is that many of the things that Dr. Bridge highlighted in some of the previous slides is one of those in and of itself does not necessarily mean anything. So we want you to understand that we're just giving you different situations that could be leading up to that suspicion where something may be going on. But when it comes to the friends group, if you've noticed a sudden change with your child and now they have a completely set of new friends, just something to look out for. Again, that in and of itself doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing drugs, but it's something to look out for.
And this is just a lasting reminder for you. So connection is protection. The more involved, trusted, and present you are in your child's world, the stronger their defense is against dangerous influences online and in real life. And then the resources that I was talking about, if you go to our website or you can scan that QR code, you can get onto a parent resource page called the Parent Network. This entire slide deck is here, the video link will be here, so you can see everything. There's also support groups and help line resources there for you too. Do you want to wrap it up?
Well, thank you. I just want to thank everyone who will be watching the video. If you're at home or at work, we appreciate you tuning in and joining us with this presentation. We really hope to make this better and bring more awareness to our family. And we really want to get the word out there of what's out in our community, walking distance. Our kids are going to be home for the summer. We have a lot of show and tell items. We have a lot of information. Please check out the website. There's resources there for you. If you have any questions or would like some clarification on anything that we presented today, please, reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to answer those questions, either live or in a part 2, or put something together for all the families. And just thank you, Dr. Bridge.
That's it. Just thanks for tuning in, and again, if you need any resources or questions, just give us a call.